everyone, this is CanadianQueen76 and welcome to my gamer channel. And today's episode I want to talk about 502, The Walking Dead Strangers. And in this episode we got to see all of the survivors reunited. And Carol had just saved everybody from Terminus, and now they want to get as far away from Terminus as they possibly can and find a new place, but they don't have a home, so they're just walking around in the wilderness. I did forget to mention in my last episode, 501, No Sanctuary, where Tyrese beats the crap out of one of the termites. However, we don't know what happened to him, but we all assume that he was dead. So in this episode, I was hoping that Tyrese would be strong and be, about it, but I think he's still shook up from, season 4 killing the little girls, and so he, in his mind, he's lost a piece of, I guess, him, and so he's real sensitive to a lot of things, and so he does a lot of nurturing, taking care of baby Judith, and he's fine with that for now until he can figure out how to get over his grief and the issue of killing children in this new world. Looking at Carol and Rick, I don't know, there's a dynamic. Rick has always been like the fortified leader of the group, and now since he's joined with Carol, Carol is pretty strong in her own right, so it'd be interesting to see how they go forward making these decisions, because I really don't see Carol hanging out as long as she, I guess as long as she needs to, because I mean she already knows she can be by herself. So they come across the helpless Father Gabriel, who is getting attacked, and he's on this huge rock by some walkers now trying to get a piece of him. So they go, and Carl wants to go save him right away, but Rick is more apprehensive, which he should be, because he's not as trusting. You can't trust people at face value in this new world. So Carl convinces the group, and they go and they bash all these walkers in, and they get Father Gabriel and save him. Father Gabriel is a weird kind of person, because I don't know how long this zombie apocalypse has been going or whatever, but I'm assuming it's more than a year maybe. And so he reveals and pretty much tells of himself that he's never killed anybody and he's never killed any walkers, and everyone finds that hard to believe, and I would too, because how do you survive this long without having to knock somebody out or kill them? So that makes everybody a little leery of him, and so he offers to take them to his church. So, because Gabriel is holding a lot of things within himself, he has his quirky sense of humor, spend a lot of time alone, he's socially awkward. He's like, I could be leading y'all to a trap, which nobody thinks is funny. So, I just think it's just pretty interesting. His character is interesting. I listened to my niece watch this episode, and she totally had a distrust for Father Gabriel. She was like, no, don't go with him. He's crazy. And I can see why, because he's just not forthcoming about things. He's holding things in. Only God can judge him kind of person. So the group goes with him anyway, because they're looking for shelter. And so when they find this shelter, they find that he pretty much is an untapped resource where nothing has happened. Everything is still kind of the same. Pictures on the wall, drawings and everything from his congregation. And so they want to know more about what's going on. But first things first, survival, you need to take care of what? Food, shelter, and all that sort, so they gotta get fresh water. So he suggested they go to the food bank, the local food bank, after they had the food drive for the church. Is how he got all his food to live on for months and months and months and months and months and years. So they go to this food bank, and what I thought was interesting was that it was gross in there. I mean, waterlogged zombie looking walkers, and they were gross. They were the most grossest walkers I've seen since the beginning of this whole Walking Dead. And just think about, like, when you're in a tub for a little bit of time, your fingers get all crinkly and stuff. But think about when you're in the tub and you're just dead skin. I mean, skin was falling off of. Makes you want to kind of just throw up. So they make a plan, and they decide that they want to get in there and like get this food, which that's what we're here for. So the whole time they're like killing stuff, and it's weird to see Michonne without her katana, and so she's using everything she can to kill walkers. And then Sasha, she's pretty strong in her own right. Bob is cool, and I just like that chemistry between Sasha and Bob. It was like you get a little bit of a Glenn Maggie-ish kind of 5 from the past seasons, where there's love and love is good and we found love in this time. And so it was nice to hear their commentary and like them banter back and forth and almost kind of be like there's not a care in the world, and then that gets crushed. So anyway, everybody's cool. They gotta save Father Gabriel, who's like getting attacked by, I guess, his dead significant other, the one, there's a weird zombie with the glasses coming after him and stuff. He's panicking, so they have to save him. And then everybody thinks the coast is clear, and Bob gets caught by the zombie underwater. And I was confused by this one because I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Ah! And I believe him when he said he didn't get bite. I mean, I'm cool with it. And you really don't know what's going to happen until even the next episode. So I'm like, what is going on? So they get out of there and they're able to go back and they're kicking it. Everybody's drinking. Carol's looking at the door like, what the heck? Nobody's watching the door. What is going on? They're having a family moment. And then that's when Abraham decides that he wants to go ahead and tell everybody, look, we need to get a plan. We need to go to D.C. We need to take, what's his name? I can't remember his name. To D.C. I don't really trust that scientist. Every time he talks, there's a whole bunch of gibberish. I'm like, why don't you tell somebody before you die what's going to happen, so at least we have some confidential information out that we can save the world with. But every time he talks, I feel like he talks in parables. And I'm like, why do we even ask you how to save the world? Crazy. So Judith, I guess, helps convince her father that, yes, let's go to D.C. That's the future of the world. And he signs on and everybody's relieved because I guess they need a purpose instead of just running around in the wilderness. It feels like 40 days, 40 nights in the wilderness. So Bob decides he wants to go on a joy walk. Give me a kiss, Sasha. What's going on? I'm like, man, what is going on with him? He's acting weird. And he's outside and he's crying. So I'm like, something did happen to him at that food bank. But at the time, I really just, I don't know. And so he gets caught by the termites who are / I guess, hunters at this point. And they take him. And then when he comes to, they are dying on his left leg. I'm like, what the heck? They done cut off his leg. Then this is a time of like no anesthesia, no painkillers. He is pretty much Bob BQ. And so he's trying to figure it all out. And Gareth is coming up with this prose about being hungry and eating, and Bob tastes so good. Gareth sucks. He sucks to the point where he irks me. He sucks. I don't get it. Okay. They must have been so hungry. They ate their kids like bears and stuff. Cattle. They must have ate their kids at Terminus. And they just keep saying, we're so hungry. We're so hungry. Ain't no vegetarians in Terminus. I mean, you can't go eat some grass. I mean, go eat something that grows on trees. I don't get it. But they are so hungry that every time they eat you, before they eat you, they want to tell you that they're hungry. So you, I guess, can sympathize with the whole plight. But then that's like kind of where it ends. It's like he's just sitting there being barbecued. Man. These episodes are getting weirder and weirder. I'm trying to follow the comics, guys. I really am. I can't find where I am. It's really weird. So help me out. I am going to get this comic. Because, I mean, I know everything is not the same. But still didn't know where Daryl was. Still don't know where Carol is. So if you like this video, make sure you thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. It's CanadianQueen76 saying goodbye. Till next time.